Commentary by Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj. Today the topic is simplicity and determination. In the Hitopadesh, there is a very interesting verse. Manasi ekam vachasi ekam karmani ekam mahatmanam manasi anyat vachasi anyat karmani anyat duratmanam. Manasi ekam vachasi ekam karmani ekam. One who thinks, speaks, and does the same thing is called Mahatmanam. Manasi anyat, vachasi anyat, karmani anyat. One who thinks one thing, says another, and does a third thing is called Duratmanam, a fool, or in Russian, Durak. That is why it is so important, and the Acharyas emphasizes this point, that the main quality of devotee is simplicity. Just let me. Sorry for the interruptions. That is why it is so important, and the Acharyas emphasizes this point, that the main quality of a devotee is simplicity. Bhakti Vinod Thakur explains that there are four essential qualities of a pure devotee. These are simplicity or frankness. Second, being focused on the purpose. Third, determination or having one goal and determination to attain it. And fourth, not depending on the opinions of others. This last quality is very important, not depending on the opinions of others. Why? Because we will be able to preserve all these qualities, especially simplicity, if we do not depend on the opinions of others. We cheat because we always want to appear different from what we really are to impress others. In another article in Sajjana Tosami, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that for the dull people of Kali Yuga who find it difficult to remember four things, it is enough to remember just two things: simplicity and determination. To do bhajan and to worship Krishna, we need these two things. However, if we lack even one of them, simplicity or determination, then it would be very difficult for us. If there is no basic simplicity of heart and no determination, we naturally won't be able to make any advancement. Hari Bol. And we see so many of the time we are lacking the determination. And this is a very prominent point Bhakti Vinod Thakur is bringing out. A dependence on other people's opinion create a situation where we are inconsistent. When alone we are one kind of a person, but in society we are different. Bhaktivinoda Thakur doesn't leave any room. In some homes, in the hallway, there is a mirror because before going out, we ask, how do I look? How will people regard me? Sometimes, even in the homes of devotees, in the living room, everything is nice and clean. But in the bedroom, there is a bed that hasn't been cleansed for 2 weeks. Sometimes our mind resemble a two-bedroom apartment consisting of a bedroom where our filthy nest is, and a living room where everything is in order, neat and tidy to impress others. Haribol. When I was running the Dunkin' Donut, the philosophy was that before you want to eat in any restaurant, you must visit the restroom first and see how clean they keep. That will mark the cleanliness of the shop. So this is required. Cleanliness is required. Haribol. Our honesty in desiring to attain Krishna also become manifest in our respect toward everything that is somehow or other connected with Krishna. If we want to achieve success on this path, this respect is very important quality. Above all, we must feel respect for the devotees. In no case should we offend them or talk ill of them. Hypocrisy is there within our hearts. If we bring this hypocrisy into our society, it turns into an offense and become even stronger. Srila Jiva Goswami illustrated this problem by an example from the Mahabharata. When Krishna came to Hastinapur, Duryodhan wanted to show him. Duryodhan had organized a sumptuous reception for Krishna. All along the roadside, he built banana arches and had women showering Krishna with flower petals as he went by. Dancers were performing to beautiful music, and sumptuous receptions was arranged with all the base food prepared by top chefs from all over the kingdom. Duryodhan said to Krishna, quote, Janardhan Keshava, you are our dear guest, our relative, you are our good friend. Please eat, unquote. What Krishna did? He refused. Duryodhan complained how unfair it was that Krishna was more favorably disposed to the Pandava than to them. Quote, I have prepared this prasadam for you with love. You must accept it, unquote. How Krishna responded? Krishna says, quote, I'm not obliged to accept anything, unquote. So Duryodhan says, but aren't we your relatives? But Krishna's heart did not budge. He said, quote, you have been hating the Pandavas since your childhood, offending them without any reason and trying to harm them. The Pandavas are not different from me. You don't love them, which means that you hate me. One can eat only when the food is offered with love, or if one has nothing to eat. I have enough to eat and I do not feel any love, so please do not feed me. I will go to Vidura. I do not want to get contaminated by your nasty food because there is no love in it, there is only cheating. Unquote. Srila Jiva Goswami says that sometimes people appear to be serving Krishna, but if while doing so, if they do not respect the Vaishnavas, then they are committing an offense, and Krishna will not accept their so-called service. And in the end, the hurt may only get farther from Krishna than it should have been. So this is a wonderful topic to remember. Simplicity, our life should be simple. And have a determination in our life. If we don't have the determination, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling us, we will never make any advancement in spiritual life. And we know for sure that we struggle. Determination is the port. Every one of us is lacking. We decide and we make even decision for our life that I want to attain the love of Krishna. But where is that determination? But where is that enthusiasm? We slipped away. So now we will be reading from Prabhupada Lilamrita. And I think for the sake of easy on everyone, we will just read the preface today and then we will end our session. So from Monday they can start on introduction on volume number 4. We may stop early today because I have so many things to take care of in my garden, tulsi plants and everything, and pack up everything last thing to leave today. So we will end our session early today. So we will be reading from preface on the volume number 4. After the disappearance of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada from this mortal world, on which day was it? Anybody, Shutada, remember? When Prabhupada left this world? Anyone? November 14, 1977. And many of his disciples saw a need for an authorized biography of Srila Prabhupada. The responsibility of commissioning such a work rested with the governing body commission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. At their annual meeting in 1978, the GBC resolved that a biography of Srila Prabhupada should be written and that I would be the author. According to the Vaishnava tradition, if one aspires to write transcendental literature, he must first take permission from his spiritual master and Krishna. A good example of this is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, the author of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's authorized biography, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. As Krishnadas Kaviraj has explained, in Vrindavan, There were also many other great devotees, all of whom desired to hear the last pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. By their mercy, all these devotees order me to write of the last pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of their order only, although I am shameless, I have attempted to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Having received the order of the Vaishnavas, but being anxious within my heart, I went back to the temple of Madan Mohan in Vrindavan to ask his permission also. So this transcendental process is further described by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in his commentary on the Chaitanya Charitamrita as follows. To write about the transcendental pastime of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not an ordinary endeavor. Unless one is empowered by the higher authorities or advanced devotees, one cannot write transcendental literature. For all such literature must be above suspicion, or in other words, it must have none of the defects of conditioned soul, namely making mistakes, illusion, cheating, and imperfect sense perception. The words of Krishna and the disciplic succession that carries the order of Krishna are actually authoritative. One must first become a pure devotee, following the strict regulative principles and chanting 16 rounds daily. And when one thinks he is actually on the Vaishnava platform, he must then take permission from the spiritual master. And that permission must also be confirmed by Krishna from within his heart. Haribo. So to say, the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is an authorized biography does not mean that it is a flattering portrait commissioned by an official body, but that it is an authorized literature presented by one who is serving the order of Krishna and Guru through the disciplic succession. As such, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is not written from the mundane or speculative viewpoint, nor can ordinary biographers comprehend the significance and meaning of the life of a pure devotee of the God. Were such persons to objectively study the life of Srila Prabhupada, the esoteric meanings would evade them. Where they no charitably try to praise Srila Prabhupada, they would not know how. But because Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is authorized through the transcendental process, it can transparently present the careful reader with a true picture of Srila Prabhupada. Another important aspect of the authenticity of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is the vast amount of carefully researched information that I am able to focus into each volume. The leading devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement, in addition to giving me permission to render this work, have also invited the world community of ISKCON devotees to help me in gathering detailed information about the life and person of Srila Prabhupada. The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, Prabhupada Publishing House, has given me his collections of letters totaling over 7,000. And scores of Prabhupada disciples have granted interviews and submitted diaries and memoirs of their association with Srila Prabhupada. Aside from his disciple, we have interviewed many persons in various walks of life who met Srila Prabhupada over the years. The result is that we have a rich composite view of Srila Prabhupada, drawn from many persons who knew him in many different situations and stages of his life. The acknowledgement section in this book lists the persons who are cooperating to bring about Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Despite the authorized nature of this book, and despite the support of my many well-wishers, I must confess that in attempting to describe the glories of our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, I'm like a small bird trying to empty the ocean by carrying drops of water to the land. The picture I have given of Srila Prabhupada is only a glimpse into his unlimited mercy. And that glimpse has only been possible by the grace of Guru and Krishna, signed by Sir Surdas Goswami Maharaj. Hari Bol. So I think we should end our session early today. And I hope and pray that you all will continue to join, giving kind association to each other. And our Japa admins, devotees will try their best to keep our Sangha intact. And we pray to our disciplic succession, divine couple, eternal associates, to beg the mercy that please help us so we can remain fixed in our practice to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One thing was prominent when we were discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam with Param Karuna Prabhu, that somehow or other we have to constantly remember Krishna, never forget him. This is the principle Rupa Goswami has said. And reading so many books and literatures, what I have come across about the holy name, if I knew something somebody has written about the holy name, I always want to glance upon it. So I have come across that the Acharya has revealed the only way we will be able to remember Krishna and never forget him through chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So somehow or other, we have to create deep attachments, not externally to show someone, but internally. Our heart should feel vacant or hollow if we have not created the attachments to the holy name. Because holy names will give us everything, and because holy name can deliver everything, we will be able to remember Krishna. So this is the test for all of us. And same advice goes, that fix the time, what time you are going to the bed. This is extremely important. And when obstacle always will come, something we will run late due to the home program service or whatever the circumstances may be. But that doesn't happen on a regular basis. It just happens for short time. So those are the days that Krishna wants us to show our dedication, that no matter what happens, I want to chant your holy name. That's determination. We lack those things. We always find some excuse. Oh, last night I went to bed so late, or this thing happened, that thing happened. So many excuses. But if we diligently determine that I want to do this, no matter what, holy name and Krishna will give us the strength to do those things. And it will become a part of our life. That this thing needs to be done. No other alternative. That fixed determination is required to cross over these nations of this material existence. We may do so many services, we may read many scripture, we may chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But unless and until we become fixed in our devotion, at least chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no hope for advancement. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur, our greatest Acharya, has given us that from Simanaha Siksha today that we read. Simplicity, pure heart. Simplicity means present as you are. And keep everything nice and clean. And always remain determined for the goal of our life. We have to adjust everything in this life. It's not that it's gonna happen automatically. We have to have a determined effort to remain fixed in our devotion. And when we feel that we have been unable to do, it shows our incompetence to make advancement in spiritual life. And we must clear those things if we are sincerely seeking to get out from the influence of the external energy. So that is important. I think that's the message that I have. It's just for me, it's not for anyone else. Because when you say publicly, then it will bring you some force that we have to remain determined. So not for anyone else, but just for my own purification and to have determined effort. So with those thoughts, I think we will leave. And I think I made a mistake that actually when I check my itinerary, I'll be coming back on 23rd afternoon. So I'll join on June 24th before 2 o'clock, and looking forward to see you all again in short duration of time. I have taken a gift for the devotees, chanting bits and the bags, also the printed copy of the Mahamantra that they can read, and I will try to do my best to. They have shown some interest that we would like to hear every day something about Krishna. So I have some books I have taken with me, and hopefully when we finished our yatra, at least some may become fixed to chant at least one round. That's my desire. But we will see how holy name and Krishna sanction those desires. So it would be nice to spend the